from the inside. Utah, Kentucky, and Clemson. Then Oregon, Tennessee, South Carolina, and on the outside, Texas A&M.
Well, you got Oregon in the middle of the track there. They're going to lead off with Shayna Grebo, the 400-meter hurdler who did get through and qualified. South Carolina goes with Zaya Akins, but they're going to go with Jayla Jamison on the second leg. She's a 200-meter finalist. Tennessee, Javonia Valcourt, but they'll anchor with the 400-meter finalist Brianna White. But South Carolina will also get a chance to see Jamisha Ford on the anchor leg for the Lady Gamecocks.
So they'll stay in their lane all the way around to the exchange. Then the outgoing runner will stay in the same lane through the full turn. Then they break for the pole on the backstretch. Very close to who passed first, but it looked like Tennessee. There is Oregon. Oregon looks like they're out front at this point, and that's going to make the crowd very happy.
52.5 for Shayna Grebo there, the 400-meter hurdler. And we talk about those 400-meter hurdlers, man. They got all kinds of strength. This is the second run of the day for her.
Ella Clayton slated on this second leg. That is actually Ella. Kentucky in second currently, and then Clemson.
Onika McAniff for Kentucky in that second position, but Oregon running well up front with Ella Clayton.
McAniff was a very obvious false start in her heat of the 400. I'm a little bit surprised to see her run there. Kentucky will hand off first, or Oregon. It was Kentucky. And the outgoing runner for Kentucky, that is Alexis Glasgow. And Oregon goes by on the inside. Oh my gosh, Katrina Wright saw the opening and went for it. Savvy running by Katrina Wright for the Ducks, the junior.
Well, and she is motoring right there at the 200-meter mark, not holding anything back. Let's see how she finishes here as we get a move by Tennessee from third to second.
Tennessee definitely making a huge move here. That is DeJour Miles, the senior, putting the Volunteers in second place. Kentucky is doing the swim and fading badly. And Tennessee all the way up to exchanging the baton first. No, Oregon keeps the lead with Shania Hall on the anchor for the Ducks. Remember, the first two over the finish line automatically qualifying through to Saturday's final.
51.7 for Katrina Wright there, the Oregon Ducks, the junior. Shania Hall, though, remember, she led off the Ducks in that 4x100-meter relay.
Yeah, Jamisha Ford now for South Carolina is going to run the Gamecocks right into this thing, right past Oregon. That will make the crowd sad.
Well, Jamisha Ford, she's run some fantastic 400-meter legs on relays. 50 seconds flat a couple times this season. And look at her go. She's in the 200-meter final, and she's getting her second run of the day in.
Just a freshman. This is an impressive anchor carry for Jamisha Ford, running her Gamecocks into the final. Oregon ends up fourth. 49.7 for the freshman. What can't she do? There's the winning time for South Carolina, and it was Tennessee finishing second. From the inside, Northern Arizona, Ohio State, and Miami of Florida. Then in the middle, LSU, Georgia, Houston, and on the outside, Northwestern State and Colorado.
Well, Houston has run 3:27 this year. Georgia has run 3:26, and LSU has run 3:26. Sydney Townsend, the senior who's qualified in the 400-meter hurdle, she leads off for the Houston Cougars.
Northwestern State's leadoff runner doing a good job out there. That is Megan Shaw, the junior. Now Houston and Georgia starting to make up that space that was created. LSU lagging right now, but making a big run near the end.
Good run by Kimberly Harris, the senior from Georgia, going by Sydney Townsend there.
LSU and Georgia hand off together.
51.7 for Georgia, 51.6 for LSU.
So Georgia's going to take the pole position. Would rather see them run that tangent. No reason to run further distance. Georgia, LSU, Houston.
That's Haley Tate for Georgia. Shania Bellamy goes for LSU. And for Houston, Imam Babineau.
That's Northwestern State in 4th place, I believe. Ohio State, I should say. Okay, here they come down the finishing stretch that make the second handoff. Still Georgia, followed by LSU and then Houston. Very crowded, a lot of traffic there with the second handoff. For Georgia, that is Sydney Harris. For LSU, Michaela Rose getting a little speed work in after qualifying easily in the 800 meters earlier this afternoon.
And Rose has run a 51-29 split on the 4x4 this season.
Rose taking her LSU Tigers into the lead with 200 meters remaining.
Also, Kellyanne Beckford, another 800 runner on this third leg, running for Houston, looking to get them right into that top 3.
Well, Sydney Harris there, the younger sister of Kimberly Harris, who led off for the Georgia Bulldogs there, doing a good job to keep them in the mix here.
Rose keeps LSU in the front for the final handoff. She'll hand off to Gariel White. And for Georgia, Dominique Mustin.
51-1 split from Michaela Rose to pull the Tigers into the lead going into this anchor leg.
This is Gariel White for LSU, Dominique Mustin for Georgia. And guys, Dominique Mustin, high school teammates with Jaden Mays here from the University of Oregon at North Canyon in Phoenix, Arizona.
LSU, Georgia, Houston. Houston not done yet. That is Michaela Mouton on anchor for the Cougars into second place. Remember, the top 2 are automatic qualifiers, and she says, you know what, let's just win this thing. It'll be Houston winning the heat, followed by LSU. Georgia trying to hang on and run as quickly as they can because the time qualifier is absolutely on.
50.74 on each for Houston. Michaela Mouton.
Let's take from the inside, UTEP, South Florida, and USC. Then in the middle, Texas, Arkansas, UCLA, and on the outside, Penn and Stanford.
Well, we know that Arkansas is just in another league, but Texas has gone 327 this season. Southern Cal has gone 327, UCLA 328, but Arkansas has so much depth. They go off, they lead off with Aaliyah Pyatt. Kaylin Brown usually runs in that spot, but then you will see Nikisha Price, Rosie Effiong, and Amber Anning.
This is just speed work. There's no other reason for those 3 to run this race. They've got the horses to run other people and easily qualify.
It's a second run, a conditioning run of the day, but Yemi John goes for USC. We didn't see her in any of the open events. But she's doing a good job for the Trojans, but it looks like
Texas passes first, but followed by UCLA, and then Arkansas passing third.
Aaliyah Pyatt goes 52.8, but watch out now. Nikisha Price is in there for the Lady Razorbacks. She owns the fastest time in the country this year, number 3 all-time on the 400-meter women's 400-meter list.
And for Stanford, that's Roisin Willis, fresh off that personal best in the 800 to qualify on to Saturday, running a leg of the 4x4.
And USC drops the baton. And I didn't see any interference, even though obviously you want to blame somebody, but they are out. Arkansas now followed by Texas and the Bruins of UCLA in third.
Well, and Bella Whitaker from Penn, she's coming up in 4th position. Her sister's going to take the baton for Stanford and run the third leg.
Madison White went ahead and went back, picked up the baton, and is trying to keep USC in the race, but just too much ground that's been given up with the quality of teams that are out there right now.
50.2 for Nikisha Price, and here goes Rosie Effiong.
Kayla Garrett, the freshman for Texas, marking Arkansas closely. They're 1-2. That's what you want to be here today. Top two automatically qualifying. UCLA at least 10 meters back in third.
And look at Rosie Effiong close. She's got energy to burn.
And the Brit, Amber Anning, will anchor for the Razorbacks, and for Texas, Dejanay Oakley on anchor.
Dejanay Oakley finished 14th in the 200 meters, so she will not be in the final.
A leisurely 50.9 for Rosie Effiong on that third leg. And now Amber Anning all the way out there by herself. Just doesn't look like she's moving very quickly, though she is. Razorbacks just own this event. Defending champions, collegiate record holders. 4 Arkansas Razorbacks in the 400-meter heats. They all got through for the final. Wouldn't be a surprise if they were to sweep it 1 through 4 on Saturday.
And look at Dejanay Oakley, man. She's going to get Texas in to the final here.
Arkansas crosses first, Texas second. UCLA hanging in there, hoping to get a time qualifier. 3:25.51 for the Razorbacks. Texas 3:27.79, just over their season best. The Bruins 3:30.26, and that is over the bubble. That will not be a time qualifier for UCLA.
Well, here you see the first exchange. It's a 3-turn stagger. These staggers are really big. Good exchange there by Texas. Nikisha Price, good job. She looked like she got the baton in about third place. Nikisha Price is running pretty close here to the USC runner, but the USC runner just, you know,
Madison White, a freshman.
She hit it on Nikisha Price's arm, but it didn't look like it was intentional, certainly. But here's Rosie Effiong getting the baton from Nikisha Price. I'm sure we will see some kind of a protest.
No question. Joanna Hayes is a professional coach. She'll do what she needs to do. She's got to try and get her Trojans into the final. She will protest that. Final exchange, Amber Anning for Arkansas and Dejanay Oakley for Texas. Those are your automatic qualifiers out of that. Now let's take a look and see who will advance to the finals on Saturday. And we fully expect that both the men's and women's team titles could go down to this final event, the 21st event of those championships, the 4x400 relay. Here are your qualifiers. Oregon with the last qualifying spot at 3:28.77, but Arkansas just too much firepower. You can almost guarantee that if they're within 10 points of being able to get the national title, they'll be able to do it with that 4x400 relay team.